Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another one of our Patreon one-shots. We do these things every month. We do them twice a day for a month. Wait, what? How does that? Wait, we do them once a month, two times in the same day. You'll figure it out. These are all of our half of our patrons that are in this one-shot group. The other half will be here in a couple hours. So if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is just like these fine folks over on Patreon. Link in the description down below. Join us at the $5 tier. Get access to all kinds of fun exclusives. While you're clicking on that link, make sure you click on the Discord link as well. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills. Trevor, it seems like he tries to kill my character specifically. So I assume he'll continue doing that. And two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to the channel for all kinds of fun things like artwork and cool designs and mortgages, just the cool things in life. With that being said, I turn things over to our wonderful, amazing GM, Trevor. Bring us into the world of, I think you said Ravenholm? Is that
Yep.
what you called it last time? Perfect.
So
the world of Ravenholm.
First of all, to defend myself, you put yourself in situations that are more dangerous than usual. And granted, I love you for it, but you're at least as responsible as I am. Good afternoon.
Just because I dangle my foot over the bear trap doesn't mean you have to close it around my ankle.
It's not
No,
my
you
fault,
put your entire face in the bear trap. That
I
is
said
the
what I
beauty
said.
of Alvin.
I said what I said.
Foot, right. That's
Good
fully
afternoon,
in mouth.
everyone. I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. We're here to play another game of Legend in the Mist, which is not supposed to be a West Marches style campaign, but we're making it work somehow. We are here for episode 3 of this campaign. This one is called The Silent Station. And last time, our fair fellowship made their way to Hollowcroft, which was an abandoned farm under which they found another ruin, much like they had found south of Ravenholm proper. This one, however, was still somewhat occupied, I suppose you could say, by two of the sentries that were still far more cognizant and coherent than the one that they met in the barley field. Roger called upon his authority as a Red Marshal and let the soldiers take to their rest after a couple of centuries. And the Fellowship found the watch log and took it with them and are now on their way back to Ravenholm. Would you all like to take a look in the watch log and see what it contains?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe Kish was actually doing it on the ride back.
So the watch log is written in Old Guerdelin, which is Kish and Alvin. Between the two of you, you should be able to make that work. Let's see show players. Show to players. There you go. Okay, so I have just put a note on the player's screens called information from the watch log. I will read it for the purposes for the benefit of the people that are watching this on Twitch. There are a total of 23 way stations that formed a containment network across the Dales. Each way station housed guards maintaining eternal vigil and were connected by underground passages and mystical links. The network was designed to contain, quote, the corruption from the breathing pools, unquote. The breathing pools are located in the southwestern marshlands, far beyond the civilized Dales. Descriptions of the breathing pools across the journal include where the old kingdom's great sin festered, something was buried there that should never have been disturbed, and if the seals fail completely, the corruption will spread unchecked, consuming the living lands. The 23 way stations are maintained by both magic and mechanism. Regular patrols will check the seals in the wards, with a primary seal existing at the breathing pools themselves, while secondary seals at each way station reinforce the network. Should the primary seal fail, the secondary seals will gradually weaken until total collapse. The final entry in the journal, written in desperate haste, and this you did see while you were still in Hollowcroft. The kingdom falls. Invaders from the south. Command orders all forces to the capital. The way stations must be abandoned. May the gods preserve the seals without us. May our sacrifice be remembered. The guards were left behind, bound by duty and magic to continue the watch even as their kingdom died around them. No one ever came to relieve them, and so they were in Hollowcroft, slowly degrading for centuries. The watch log also includes a map showing the way station network, each station marked with its number and location. The primary seal, as previously said, is marked in the southwestern marshlands. Several way stations near Ravenholm are marked. Way Station 6 was the sunken ruin that you investigated initially. Way Station 7 was Hollowcroft. And there is another way station marked Way Station 8 that is northeast of Ravenholm, but is not, you don't recognize the location as anything, any kind of landmark. Many of the way stations are crossed out on the map, marked with things like compromised, flooded, or collapsed. Scattered among the official entries are personal observations from the guards. Quote, I dreamed of the pools again. They breathe. I swear they breathe. Quote, Captain says the dreams mean nothing, but we all have them. Quote, 2 centuries of service. Will anyone remember us? That is what you get from the watch log.
Trevor, I want you to know that I was doing a bit of stream admin and listening to your dulcet tones as you read this, and I didn't have the page in front of me.
That's
and
good.
Several times I thought you said breeding pools, and in the context of the last episode, that's so much worse.
Right?
That's so. I was like, what was being bred in the
breathing.
black goo muck? I was
I think
like,
he means
oh,
breathing, as in the kind of phone calls we used to get before caller ID were invented.
I saw that when I read the words, but just hearing it, I was like, breeding pools? What the fuck were the Old Kingdom breeding? Were they just breeding nightmares? What were they doing?
Well, kind of, if you think about it.
It's literally nightmare fuel, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So you all now have that in the journal tab that you should be able to look at and reference as you wish. But the sun is setting as you make your way back to Ravenholm, casting long shadows across the fields. Your clothes are still damp from the flooded cellars, and exhaustion weighs heavy in your bones. But you succeeded. You survived, you learned the truth, and you have the watch log to prove it. As you crest the hill overlooking the village, you see something wrong. Too many people gathered in the hall. Too much noise. Not the sound of celebration or relief, but something angrier. Sharper. And at the center of it all, you can make out a tall figure gesturing emphatically. Alderman Beeks. As you recall, last time, before you left, you attempted to calm the crowd out of their panic, failed miserably, until Alvin decided to lean into it and try to stir up the panic to get the villagers to remain sheltered in their homes, which almost succeeded to some extent, but has turned Alderman Beeks from being an ally into being an antagonist to
I was about to say we should go somewhere else, but then I remembered we have to pick up Laura's character in town. I was like, we should just.
It's kind of like we live here and our stuff is here.
Yeah.
We gotta have somewhere to come back to when we're not committing cool crimes.
You can't destroy the world. All my stuff is here.
Listen, my boss threw a tomato at a man, and I tried to start a riot. Okay.
In other words, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Just another Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what your offer was. We saved the world.
Must be Tuesday.
I think Kish would, because he doesn't care what people think of him at his age.
Okay.
Walks in there to try to figure out what's going on, and he is learning the lesson to be a little bit more cautious now. So he's trying to somewhat blend in as we come back in. And he will tell the others to do that too.
Okay. And as you enter the village, Beaks turns and sees you and even raises his voice even louder, and you weren't actually sure that was possible. Ah! The so-called heroes! Our protectors!
I never called myself a hero, Beaks. I'm just doing my job, and you step out of the line of fire. You know what's good for you.
The Marshal's Council is days away. From whom do you take your orders?
I haven't needed the council in 20 years of service.
Really? Is that why you led these people into that cursed place against my advice?
Look.
Are you sure you haven't stirred up more trouble? What if you hadn't come back? Who would protect Ravenholm then? Our stalwart protectors.
You seem to think you can live without me.
I think Kish would interrupt and said, I did tell the mayor, if we weren't back, to flee. We didn't stir up more trouble. We found the issue.
Well, he says. And he says this with a kind of smirk that says, you said exactly what he wanted you to say. He says, we will find out tonight. I have already called a council meeting. Be
Good.
there.
Why not do it now? Since you got everyone riled up.
Dramatic timing, says Roger.
Yeah.
All the world's a stage, and Beaks.
Because in fact, we don't really have time to dilly-dally either.
That's what I'd think.
Trevor, can I retroactively do something real quick?
Depends what, but go.
Great. That's a good answer. I would like to have. I feel like it's probably commonplace for me to carry things for Kish, right? Can we say that I have the book?
Absolutely.
And that as soon as we leave, and like the first words are not like joyous praise for our genuine joyous praise for our returning champions. I have a power tag that is quite literally vanished into air, and I would like to take the book and go, ooh, and then just disappear and leave and go to Kish's workshop.
Okay. So let's go ahead and see how that works out for you.
Great.
So we're going to make a roll.
Okay.
Obviously, vanish into air is a viable tag.
I'm gonna say so. My goal here is to like reading the notes you gave, right? Reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
Bad shit was happening in town, and the way that the way stations seem to work is there's like a core stop gate, and then each way station has its own redundant stop gate, and there are 3 way gates surrounding our town, and we seem to have maybe put the gates down in 2 of them, which would mean there's a 3rd one that we have an unknown location. So Alvin wants to go back to Kish's workshop and begin researching where the 3rd one might be. And all that to say, I would love to use work smarter, not harder. Get the hell out of there. Go do it as fast as possible. Possibly hardworking drudge. And I don't know. I can see at least 4 more that could be on here.
Yeah, let's I think you can certainly use witch blood.
Okay. I'll take that.
And
for the vanishing into air,
yeah, and rudimentary magic.
Rudimentary magic. Okay. Any negatives?
I'm gonna say no, because most of the town is focused on Beaks, and Beaks is focused on himself.
Okay.
And his monologuing. You got him monologuing.
So I'll throw a little quick roll out here.
Yep.
Oh!
Hello!
I am invisible!
Okay, so I will ask a question because you
Yeah.
rocked to this roll so hard. Do you want to let Kish know what you're doing, or are you just literally just disappearing without telling anyone anything?
No, I'll let Kish know.
Okay.
That way he doesn't think like I'm off doing something either fucking off or doing something dangerous. I don't need Kish to panic. He's old. He's got an old heart.
Right.
I don't need to, yeah, so I think as soon as Beaks would like, as soon as I detected the sarcasm, I just kind of go, oh, and then anyone paying attention to Alvin would just see him not be there anymore. And I just lean over and I go, I gotta go. I'm going home. And I just fuck off to Kish's house.
So, Kish, you believe that Alvin's bladder has attacked at exactly the wrong moment. No, so yeah, so that happens exactly as you describe.
Then I'm gonna research.
Yep.
Right. So for being retroactive here, I'm going to take back some of my words and say, we'll come to the meeting tonight, but Kish will also add, but be prepared for the worst news.
As should you. And with that, he gives another kind of smirk.
I throw a tomato at him.
Anyone who wants to, actually, you don't even need this. I'll give it to you without a roll. Kish, you are old and wise and have some understandings of people. While he's talking a lot of bluster, and he's trying to. He is at the heart of it. He is trying to protect Ravenholm, and he's trying to protect the people of Ravenholm. He honestly believes that what you guys are doing is making things worse. He honestly believes that you investigating the ruins is going to cause harm for Ravenholm, so he is attempting to basically shut you down out of a sense of protection for the village.
He thinks we're poking the bear, right?
Yeah. He absolutely thinks you're poking the bear. So
I don't think Kish is disproving that. I think he's just proving that.
yeah. So that okay. So let's go through. Alvin, you're going to do some research. So again, make me a roll. How are you going to make yourself all researchy?
Let's see. I would say, hardworking drudge, master's secrets,
Okay.
curious,
Okay.
deep thinker.
Yep.
I think that's it. Unless you want to throw in work smarter, not harder.
No,
but I think this is genuinely hard work.
Yeah, this is you're working hard at being smart.
Yeah.
I will say, however, I think I'm going to invoke overworked.
Okay, it's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long day, and you're tired.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll it.
Alrighty.
Still very nice.
10.
Okay, so as mentioned, the log does have a map. You see at Way Station 8, probably about a day's hard travel northeast from Ravenholm. And you see a number, like you see all 23 of the way stations. You do see the primary seal, and you can see the network is surrounding this heal. It's not just in this direction.
Mhm.
And you can, if you kind of take some charcoal and kind of very lightly draw lines in between some of the way stations, and you can absolutely see the net that it creates.
Okay.
And in fact, I will say even that you actually recognize from at one point you go and take one of Kish's books off the shelf and flip through it, and you can even see that a number of these mesh lines intersect with several of the local ley lines.
Oh, okay.
So this was not built randomly. This was
I imagine we have like ink, right? Like ink wells and stuff.
Yep.
I would given that like there's a whole conversation going on out there, who knows how long that could possibly take. I think like Alvin is lost in this, so whether Kish comes home and starts talking to him is he might be gone in this. But I think I would like to take some kind of parchment and like in one color of ink sort of redraw the ley line map, and then in a separate color of ink redraw the way station map, so that we have like a better representation of the two of them together.
Okay.
So that I can show this to Kish. And he
Yeah,
can better interpret
yeah.
what it means.
Go ahead and create yourself a tag for that.
Story tag, right?
Yep. Right. Does anyone else do anything before the council meeting this evening?
Yeah, Roger had a couple of things he wanted to do. He wanted to check in with Lean, who was the head druidess of the village, see if she's got anything. And he picked up an old spear when in the final. Has nothing to do with this episode. Totally unconnected session. That he wanted to see if he could perhaps repair. And other than that, he wanted to generally upgrade his firepower. If there was ever a time to have a good old-fashioned Chekhov's gun above his fireplace, now would be the time to get it. I suppose in this setting it would be Chekhov's crossbow, but nuclear vessels.
Okay, so if you would like to see about shining the spear up or honing its edge, let's see. I'm gonna so you have the spear. I'm gonna say that right now the spear, and I'm giving you the status, even though it applies much more to the spear.
Yeah,
is the spear is rusty and dull too.
Mm-hmm.
So what will happen is this status will be in place. This status will be used whenever you try to use the spear in combat.
Yeah.
If you would like, you can attempt a roll to basically remove this status and replace it with sharp or honed or whatever, however you would like it. This is what are called polar statuses, which is instead of having just status 1 and status 2, these are a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and make a roll and tell me what you would like to do. How you would like to fix this spear.
Well, Roger's got many decades behind him that he's been committed to maintaining his training. So, martial training would certainly be one. And as you'd see from the sword that he always has at his side, that has a perfect edge on it that he's maintained with oils and taking it to a blacksmith before it's even been damaged. He has some primitive knowledge of metallurgy. It's not on the lines of what Kish has developed, but he knows his way around a blacksmith's forge.
Yep. And actually, there is someone in town who may be able to help with this.
Mhm.
There's a tracker who just came to Ravenholm many years ago and just kind of never left. He does all sorts of odd jobs, and kind of knows one of those people that knows a little bit about everything. And his name is Gareth,
Yeah.
and he might be a good person for you to seek out to maybe help with this.
Well,
So-
wherever he would be, Vimes would find him, because this is the sort of time that he usually does his evening patrol. So he likes to know everyone's business.
So, Laura, please introduce us to Gareth, describe him, and what is his opinion of what the Fellowship has been up to this point, and kind of where is he on the for or against scale of things, and how does he react when Roger calls on him?
So Gareth is he probably lives on the outskirts of the village or town or whatever it is. At first appearances, it just looks like a shack, but when you really look at it, you can see that it actually is weathertight. Do you know what I mean? So it's well built, but there's nothing at all like fancy to it or anything. It's quite crude and that. And he himself he's like late middle-aged. You would say it's hard to tell underneath all the hair. It's just shaggy, like salt and pepper hair and beard and mustache and everything. You can see kind of like weathered skin, and it just always seems to kind of look dirty because he's always working. So he never really, you've never seen him like, in a Sunday best or anything. He always just looks like he's, just crawled out of a bush somewhere or something. And as for what the Fellowship has been up to, up till now, he probably doesn't care. Probably couldn't give two hoots. Okay. Right? But now that the entire town is in an uproar and he can't get any peace and goddamn quiet, he's probably quite angry. And so when he's a knock at the door, he's probably quite just gruff, What do you want?
It's right. It's the marshal. It's Vimes.
No, come in. Shut the door behind you, and wipe your feet.
I found this when I was out with Kish and his lad. Vimes will cut to the as the other member of the local curmudgeon club. He will cut to business and remove this ornate old spear of perfect weighting from his traveling pack and hand it over. Is there anything you can help me with this? You know your way around these things. It's old, it's rusty, and it's dull, but it has many years left in
it. He's probably sitting in a chair next to a small fire, probably whittling or repairing something, probably like a leather strap or something he's busy on repairing. And he'll get up, and as he does, there's a little crick, and he'll be like, "Oh, damn me!" And he'll straighten it out a little bit, and then he'll walk over, and kind of take it from you and hold it for balance. You said it's a spear kind of thing, So he kind of like checks it for balance and examines it, and you're right. Could be good. Needs cleaning, sharpening.
You can actually. So, I'm guessing that in his past, Gareth has come across weapons of various qualities, so you can tell pretty much right away that, I mean, this spear is a couple of centuries old. It is ancient, but underneath the rust and the wear, you can tell right away that this spear was expertly made. This was not just stick something sharp on the end of a stick and hand them out to people to protect a village or something like that. This was made by an artisan, not even just a weaponsmith. And it's to speak to the Curmudgeon Club, it's the kind of quality you don't see nowadays. But this is even you take a moment and you are pretty truly impressed by this.
Town blacksmith wouldn't know what to do with one of these, would he? Whippersnapper. Well, he's a running around losing his head, Any man of intelligence would be forming his plowshares into something we can fight off evil with.
What's even going on out there?
We uncovered a problem. One of the local way stations. It was supposed to be made some 200 years. It was supposed to be made more than 200 years ago to stop some, poison from flowing into the land.
He just shrugs. And then he just says, you want to start now?
Sure.
As he nods his head over towards like a workbench kind of thing he's got set up in the corner.
No time like the present. I'm waiting for Kish and his boy Alvin to be done with whatever tinkering they're doing in their workshop. I don't understand it.
As you make your way over to your workbench, you see that Fox is curled up on top of the wood workbench, very comfortable and very asleep. As you come over, kind of, very sleepily lifts his head. Yep.
Nice to see somebody can sleep through this.
He kind of like looks at his comfortable chair that he was sat in beforehand, but then looks down the interesting weapon, and then he just kind of yips back at Fox and nods his head towards like the chair, and I think Fox is like grumbles down, but he's quite glad that he gets to sit in the chair. Really.
Because Fox, Fox, you can tell like just for a second is cranky at being woken up, but before you even nod your head, he sees that the chair is empty and he's already gone. He is there. It's nice. You warmed it up for him. You didn't. I don't think foxes can purr, but he's probably getting close.
That's an intelligent animal. You sure he doesn't want to run for alderman? We could do with getting rid of beaks.
You do a better job.
Cheaper. Just a couple of rabbits.
So I'm gonna say that you can make the roll, Roger. You can get one extra power from Gareth's help.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if I've got my numbers right, you would be at a total of 3.
Okay.
Which, if you rolled that and succeeded, that would bring it to sharp 1. Remember that you can also burn one of your tags to gain an additional 2 power.
Mm-hmm.
If you wish to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So that was with a +3. Oh darn! I think maybe once I hit the wrong thing on the HUD.
Okay. Well, so that's an 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you succeed. Rusty and Dull 2 is now honed 1. Okay. And as consequences, I'm going to say that the two of you kind of get to talking and lose track of time.
Yeah,
A
Vimes withdraws a bottle from his pack of his "oh fuck, we're all going to die" stash.
Yeah, to be fair, Gareth would probably mostly just listen. He doesn't really talk. Like, this is probably the most he's talked in ages, to be honest with you. But he will listen and grunt and occasionally make a comment. But he's never one to really offer conversation, if you know what I mean. But he's willing enough to, if Vimes is a talker, to listen for now. It kind of drowns out the commotion that's going on out there.
So I am also going to give you, Roger, another status. You are inebriated 2.
Yeah.
When it comes time for when you look and see that the setting of the sun has escaped your notice, and the meeting has probably already started.
You think I've given Beaks enough time to get the wind out of his sails?
And at that, we will cut to the rest of the fellowship. Kish and Elvin, are you guys doing anything else over the afternoon, over the course of the afternoon before the council meeting?
I think Kish grabs a few more fresh tomatoes. He's going to be needing them. And also, Kish is going to go look through his library to see if he has any books that have translations from the old language, just in case we're gonna need it later, probably.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a quick roll to see if you can just create a tag.
Can he get a +1 on his roll for my existence?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Okay, so how do I add that +1?
On the bottom of your HUD, hit the plus button.
Oh, the big HUD or the small one?
The little guy.
Yep. Down at the bottom, you'll see minus
yep,
0 plus. Yep.
Trevor, it's almost like I'm learning how to use this.
Oh.
Okay. So we didn't actually get to the point of you adding tags.
Oh shoot.
So let's see. I think we can take Old Ways Practitioner, Ancient Lore, and Seen a Thing or Two. I think would all, and those will bring you up to a 10.
Right.
Which means yes, you have. Go ahead and create yourself a story tag. And when you get to the village,
before he leaves, Master Kish, should I go or should I stay? The last time I was, thanks, Laura. The last
if
time
I go, there will be trouble.
If I go, there could be trouble. The last time we were in a large crowd, strangely enough, a riot almost ensued.
You can come as long as you don't incite another riot. Remember, do as I say, not as I do. Just because you see me throw tomatoes doesn't mean you should be throwing tomatoes. I'm old.
Tips his bag out a little bit, and some tomatoes fall out of his bag. Okay.
Great. Who has the book?
I assume things that look heavy I'll probably carry unless Kish tells me otherwise.
Yeah, Alvin will carry the original book. I'll carry the ones with the translation notes.
Okay. And as soon as you enter, the village hall is packed. Every council member is present. Dozens of villagers who crowded in to watch. The atmosphere is not quite hostile, but close. It's very, very tense. Torches burn in wall sconces, casting their flickering shadows. And at the head of the room, standing beside the council table, is Alderman Beeks, and he looks, as soon as you walk in, he doesn't even give you a chance. He starts, there they are.
You want another tomato if you keep being rude?
Watch your tongue, right? And so at this, he actually turns back to the council chamber, or the council table, and you do recognize the other, obviously the other members of the council, Elda, the village elder, Cobb the miller, Marjorie the brewer, and Bryce the smith are the other members of the council. And Cobb looks very angry. Marjorie looks very deep in thought. Bryce looks kind of nervous, and Elda looks like she is trying to remain calm, but is starting to get frustrated. And she kind of shoots you a look that says, "Please do not make my job any worse or any harder." Meanwhile, Beeks steps forward. The room falls silent at this exchange. 3 days ago, well, these people went to the sunken ruin. They told us they dealt with the threat. Today, livestock are dying again. They told us not to act, not to protect ourselves, to trust them. And what happened? They vanished into Hollowcroft for most of the day. A day! While Ravenholm sat here vulnerable, wondering if our so-called protectors were dead in some collapsed ruin. And his eye falls on you, Alvin, and the book. He says, "And what have they brought back? Some kind of cursed book? More artifacts to bring into our village? More old magic that we don't understand and can't control? And they want us to trust them to keep investigating? To keep stirring up these threats?" This is about when Gareth and Roger walk in, and he pauses, sees this, looks over at you, Gareth. And now they've dragged Gareth into this. A man who just minds his own business, does honest work. I suppose now you're getting caught up in their schemes. So how, and we'll just go around and do some spotlights here. So there are several accusations that have been leveled at you. We're going to start with Kish. What are you going to say to try to sway the crowd? I don't think you're going to be able to sway Beeks of anything.
No. Kish will immediately say, "I didn't say to do nothing. I said if we did not return within 2 days, the town should evacuate. Because if we did not come back, we would not know what was causing the issue. We have discovered what is causing the issue. We are not stirring up trouble, because in fact, even if we didn't go there, it would probably progress even worse and worse and worse, with no one figuring out what's the issue, with no one doing anything to solve the issue besides inciting panic." And I think Kish will look at both Alvin and someone who needs a tomato thrown at them at the moment. And he says, "And what we found is not good news. I will not lie about that. As all of you know, I don't lie to anyone, even when I'm taking care of them. I may be harsh, the truth is harsh.
truth, you say? More like superstition and old stories. I deal in facts, Mr. Wright. Fact. Livestock are dying. Fact. Places are collapsing. Fact. You left us unprotected to chase ancient ruins. How is that keeping Ravenholm safe?
Figuring out what's causing the issues can help us maintain and prevent further destruction. Just sitting here and complaining about doing nothing won't.
Okay. So go ahead and make me a roll.
Now, Trevor.
Yeah.
Maybe a controversial assist here. But can I give Kish a +1 if I shut the hell up?
No, but you can prevent him getting a -1 from you opening your big damn mouth.
Great. That's basically a +1.
Yeah.
And therefore you're welcome.
Yeah, I would take seen a thing or two, storyteller, cautious, old ways practitioner, ancient lore.
I would argue can't fool me, because right now he's trying to incite me to be even more angry while I'm trying to help this town.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah.
That'll be... Would that be detailed, or are we doing it quick?
Just do quick. Ooh,
Oh, thank God for the tags.
right? All right. So at your statement, Marjorie actually stands up. She says, if what you're saying is true, Master Wright, and the village is in danger, there must be something, some knowledge that you have of a path to go forward. It's young Master Fogwell, you hold what your master claims to be a tome of knowledge and information about where you have been. Can you please share some of that knowledge with us that we may better know what the danger is that may befall Ravenholm? And the spotlight goes to Alvin.
Alvin reaches into his bag and pulls out the book, and then with that also pulls out his little journal that he keeps, and he opens the inside of the journal and says, "For all questions involving way stations, please refer to Master Kish Wright. Thank you." And then he closes his journal, and then like looks to Kish and like a right,
yeah.
And that's all he says.
I guess Kish will continue. One of the things that we have discovered while translating the book is that the previous kingdom of the land had set up several way stations, as they called it, to prevent this, for lack of a better term at the moment, miasma, poison seeking into the land. And from the notes they left, there's at least only... How many way stations was it again? Like 23? 23. From the 23 original way stations, even 200 years ago at the time, all but 3 collapsed. As of today, from what we know, 2 of the remaining 3 have collapsed.
So I'm going to stop you for a second. It's the 3 that are left are not the only ones that are left. Several of the others collapsed or flooded, but not all of them.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
I just want to make sure you're,
I should rephrase it.
Yep.
The 3 that we know of.
There's 3 that surround Ravenholm.
Yep.
3 that
3
we
that are
know
closest to us.
Yeah. The 3 that surround our home. 2 of them have already collapsed. There's only 1 left, and then the central way station, as the book details. I believe Alvin has figured out the approximate location where the central way station is. And I think he'd turn over to Alvin to hand him the map.
Oh, I have a map. He just holds it up.
She actually Elda, who is sitting at the center of the table, motions you forward.
He looks to Kish.
Treat it like you treat a patient. Be wise.
Not like how you treat them.
Be truthful, even if it's harsh.
Okay. And he walks up with the map. He walks up with the map and the book, despite the fact that, like, I assume most people, if not everyone else, can't read the book.
Correct.
And just sort of places the book down, places the map down. What? Just so I know, what is like the common knowledge of ley lines, if anything at all?
They are not known, not studied by most people. Definitely hearkening back to the old ways. Those that are, those that know of them, mostly they dismiss them as just old folk tales. Okay. They don't give them any weight.
Okay. So he would walk up to the table and say, "These are the notes we translated from the ruins, and this is my best approximation of a map of the local area, overlaid with the locations of the way stations. This one here is the incident with the soldier that came back to life. This one here is the incident in which we explored the ruins, and this one here is the next closest one to Ravenholm. We think.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a roll. You can use. Let me give you
The map.
You can use the map. I'm also giving you the watch log as another story tag. You can use them. You can burn a tag if you wish. But what else would you like to use for this?
I think I will use the two of those. I will use let's say let's see. Well, they called on me as Kish's apprentice. So I'm going to use my new tag, Old Ways Apprentice.
Okay.
And
can I add a +1 for my encouragement, which is rare from Kish?
No, but I will say that Mike, now might be a good time to invoke one of your fellowship tags. Specifically thinking Knowledge Hard 1.
Knowledge Hard 1. Okay. I'll take that. So Knowledge Hard 1, that would scratch that scratches that.
Yeah.
Right? Every time you use one as a scratch. Okay,
yep.
great.
Yep. Because
so I'll activate those 4 power tags. Any negatives? I don't think they apply.
I'm gonna say no, because Elda is she is not distrustful of you. She seems earnestly interested in getting all of the facts.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have those 4 tags. A quick roll here. Ooh.
Oh, Mike rolling on fire today.
On fire. Champion.
Nice.
He's raising up apprenticeship.
You might actually have to start paying him.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be the wise old one soon.
Right. So you go over the map, you go over some things in the watch log, and in a moment of inspiration for dramatic effect, you read aloud the final entry. And that quiets the room. So, Beaks speaks up a little less bluster in his voice, but still. So you're saying there are 23 of these way stations, 23 potential disasters waiting to happen, and your solution is to go looking for them, to leave Ravenholm undefended while you poke at more ancient sites until they all wake up.
Sir, I'm not saying that. I simply translated what the journal says, and the journal says that there's 23.
Maybe the real solution is to fortify here, build defenses, train militia, let proper authorities, and with this he kind of gives a quick side eye glare at Roger. Handle the larger threat, not run around chasing ancient ruins like you're on some grand adventure.
From what, Beaks? The pollution is killing sheep. It's polluting our crops. There will be no supplies for this town to last.
If I may, Palisades would perhaps stop any of the things like the soldier that came back to life. But as Mr. Rogers said, it wouldn't stop the water. Water was what the sheep drank and from the wells, and that's what we think killed them. So if it's affecting the groundwater, then it's affecting the wells, and if it's affecting the wells, then it's affecting the livestock and the crops, and no amount of walls or swords is going to stop the groundwater.
So
the boy's right.
Gareth, this is all kind of striking a tone with you, especially given that you just spent several hours being as chummy as you possibly get with anyone.
Yeah, Gareth has a thing he wants to say.
Go for it. Yeah.
So
please.
Gareth, the back being backwards and forwards and everything like that, and he's just starting to get a little bit angry-ish. And he just kind of steps forward. He steps off from the wall that he's been leaning against. And as he walks forward, he's kind of like unbuttoning his shirt top. To like eventually when he gets to the top to pull it down, and he's just saying, I know nothing of ley lines and magic and all that kind of thing. What I do know is what happens when people do nothing. And he kind of pulls down his shirt, and his back is crisscrossed with like what look like lash lines, and there are pucker marks from like weapon wounds and things in his body, kind of stuff. And he just says, when people hide and do nothing. And then he just kind of shrugs his top back on again and shuffles back off into the darkness and props back up against the wall.
Right.
I think Kish would say, and the only way we are going to prevent this is to study and figure out how the previous kingdom did. Now, my best guess, we can find some more clues at the other way station that's nearby and potentially go to the central area, central waypoint that the book mentioned, to figure out how they prevented this poison from spreading across the land, and maybe recreate what they built and make it last for 200 years even after we are gone.
The room is quiet, and one by one, first everyone on the council and then everyone in the room focuses on Elda. She is she has her chin resting on her hand. She's kind of looking down and to the corner as one does when one is contemplating. She nods and stands up. She says, Alderman Beaks's concerns are noted. The Fellowship did take risks, and yes, Ravenholm was vulnerable during their absence, but they returned safely and with crucial knowledge. At this point, they've proven their commitment to protecting us, and at this point, Beaks kind of shirks down a little bit. I propose we authorize them to investigate Waystation 8 with condition. The rest of the council members, except for Beaks, nod in assent. He is looking very defeated, and just kind of sits down and says nothing. Here are my conditions. Keep your investigation as brief as possible. Report your findings immediately upon return. And she thinks for a minute and she has that look like she just got an idea. Gareth, you were not born to Ravenholm, but you have come here and made it your home and made us your home and, as such, family. Would you be willing to accompany them as an impartial, uninvolved, up to this point, observer, and report what you find when you return?
He nods and grunts.
One more thing. If you take too many risks, we reserve the right to forbid you from further investigations. Is that clear, Master Wright?
Crystal.
Is that clear, Master Fogwell?
Yes.
Is that clear, Marshal Vimes?
I prefer Master Sergeant, but we'll do what we can. Because there might not be a town to come back to if we don't.
Is there any other business before this council?
Kish will raise his hand.
Master Wright.
If things go south, we must be prepared for the worst. As always. As I said before we left this waypoint, I'll say it again. We need to be prepared for the worst to evacuate.
An excellent point, and well taken. Master Sergeant Vimes, would you please work with names? Would you please work with Bryce? And she gestures to one of the other council members, who, as you know, is the town blacksmith, to see what defenses can be quickly constructed, and perhaps what measures can be taken if Ravenholm were to come under attack before you return.
Yes, if we've got to get some strong lads from the farms to dig us ditches, and if the woodsmen will make spikes, and the woodsmen and the carpenters will make spike traps, we can pit the spike. We can have pits. We can have defensive spike traps in a day.
Then I suggest that we spend tomorrow preparing, and on the next morn, you depart. There being no further business, this council meeting is now closed. And as it breaks up, you see Bryce actually comes over, Roger, to talk to you, and says, I think that went about as well as could be expected. They'll see the truth.
Takes them a while.
Old Garth, actually, who is the Laura, for your edification, was the person with the herd of sheep that died from drinking the poisoned water. That is what led to the expedition to Holocroft. He actually comes up to you, says, "Good words, lad. Short, but good. Needed saying." Kind of claps you on the shoulder.
And Gareth just says, "I'm sorry about your sheep."
Just find what happened so it doesn't happen to anyone else. Fair?
Aye.
You have not gotten everyone by any means on your side. Cobb is still looking very scared. Beaks looks, like I said, completely defeated. And there are still some of the villagers, they their reactions kind of run the gamut, everywhere from coming up and actually thanking you for taking this danger upon yourselves. Some of them still actively kind of herd their children away as you get closer. Opinion in Ravenholm of you is very, very divided right now. Elda also comes up to you, Roger.
Madam?
Don't make me regret this, Marshal. Beaks raised legitimate concerns. Ravenholm needs protection, and you can't be everywhere at once.
I've said that we should have some sort of militia or town guard for 15 summers now.
Let us hope it's not needed. But your words ring true. Get to those defenses. Tell your companions to spend the day prepare supplies, and you'll be off the following morning. And she goes to walk away, and she stops for a moment. And she looks back, and there's more of a look of humanity in her eyes that doesn't reach to the rest of her face, but you can see it in her eyes, and she looks at you, and she comes back, and she puts a hand on your shoulder, and she says very quietly, so that only the two of you can hear, "Come home safe, Roger."
I intend to.
So the next day, Roger, you are busy setting up defenses and seeing about making some makeshift weapons with Bryce. Gareth, what are you doing to prepare to leave Ravenholm for the first time in quite a while?
He's probably digging out his old pack. He's hasn't traveled in a while, but he's used to living light, and he was used to traveling light for a lot of years. So he'll make sure that is actually, you know what? Once he's tended to his bow and made sure he's got a new string, he's going to go out and he's going to get himself a new walking stick, because this is a new journey, and every new journey demands a new stick to go upon said journey with. So he's going to spend the day looking for the perfect stick.
Excellent.
And then he's going to like cut it and make sure it's a good one and that it's sturdy. He talks with for a bit, that kind of thing.
Yep. All right. Kish and Alvin, what are you doing?
I believe Kish will get a few things set up because he's being overly cautious because he's now seen things may go for the worse. He tells Alvin a few things. There's a few books that you need to make sure stay safe. And he points out to the most medical relevant ones. Keep that memorized. That if anything else is destroyed, at least keep those ones.
Okay.
And then one of the other things Kish prepares is he writes a letter to the main council lead, Elda.
ELDA.
And in it, it's basically a last will and testament that everything will go to Alvin.
There's nothing like being optimistic.
Right?
Hey, I'm playing the oldest person in this village is doing reckless stuff
In
right
the world.
And there's a side note, and if worse is worse and Alvin is not here, he's leaving it to the local druid.
Okay.
Alvin does what he's told. He studies the book on like medicines, and then he'll take notes in his journal. I'm sure there are some in there, like he's got like sketches of plants and things like that. But he'll take notes of like not the most common cures for ailments, but the most like wide-reaching cures. So like if there's a penicillin, right? Like that heals a bunch of things, right? If there's a general steroid that heals a bunch of things, right? He'll take the like notes of those things, because worst case scenario, if he can't remember how to do it, at least a wide-ranging poultice or salve or something like that would be useful. And then once he's done that enough, or at least what he thinks is enough, he spends the rest of his time studying the books that aren't about that. The books that are about the old ways, the books that are about like anything that he thinks he can relate to the breathing through.
Okay. So when you gather the following morning, as you go to leave the village, you see that the council has assembled itself, and you see that Beaks is wearing a traveling cloak and a back satchel and carrying a walking stick. It was decided that a member of the council should also accompany you. Make sure that everything is as you report.
Roger examines him in the method that he would examine one of his troops when he had them many years ago, and be like, well, if anything should happen, you stay behind me, Alderman. Wouldn't want to lose you.
Neither would I.
Which is probably about the nicest thing he said to him in a few weeks now.
Yep. And you head off. So, You are following. I'm assuming you're following the map in the log.
I mean, so not to be that guy. Based on your information, I think we'd be following Alvin's map. Right?
Okay.
Because it does say two words. It does say way station 8, which is the last one we need, the closest one to us.
Yeah.
Location unknown, but northeast. So Alvin did as much research as he possibly could in the northeast and narrowed down where possible locations of that could be. So I guess we're following Alvin's map.
Yeah. And if there's an inn along the way or anything like that, Vines would like to drop off his report for collection by any of the other Red Marshals, so it gets back to their council, because he's not a last will and testament man. He would, as the soldiers in that last watch that we were, he would submit his final report.
So it's not so much a series of communication by inn, as it is that you basically have your own kind of set of carrier pigeons.
All right.
But more like kestrels, because you guys don't suck. Yeah, so basically you know.
Well, pigeons have a habit of getting eaten.
Right. By kestrels, amazingly enough. So
They don't whip out a pigeon in front of Fox.
you just kind of work your way up the food chain. Yeah, so you attach your report to the kestrel that you keep.
Yeah, it has a copy of the translation and of the journal in case we should fail. It would mean that, it gives the Red Marshals at least some edge.
Okay. So Alvin, in your research, looking into that part of the Dales, the most likely place for this to be, especially given that the others have been some kind of sequestered or protected or underground or something like that, there are some old quarries about a day's travel northeast that have been abandoned for decades. But given what you have seen so far, is probably your best guess.
Yeah, I think on his map he would have marked locations, known points on the map he drew. So if there are quarries, there would be a notation that we're headed towards quarries.
Okay.
And then I mean, honestly, I think Alvin is a better note taker and cartographer than he is a outdoors person. So he would give his map to either Roger or Gareth, depending on who is better outdoorsy.
Oh, it's absolutely Gareth.
Yeah, he would give it to Gareth then.
Okay. Gareth, you have actually been out that way. It's been a while. Several winters ago, you actually tracked a wolf pack out that way. The main road, loops around loops around a village that's up that way. It is certainly easier travel, but would add about 2 hours to your trip. There is a shorter path that that's a little bit harder of a walk, but it will also save you that time.
So I think in Gareth's fashion, he'll point out one direction and go long and easy, and then he'll point in another direction and just go short and hard, and then raise an eyebrow, like a questioning eyebrow at everyone else. Is which way you want.
Vine says nothing. He didn't think that was a question. He thought that was indicating of the short, hard path of which he would approve.
I think Fox takes a moment, gives a yip, and then starts running off in the shorter but harder direction. Because Fox knows what's up.
One vote.
Kish is just going on the short and hard. It's like, I'm old.
Alvin is going to help Kish.
Okay.
Also, Fox will, as we're walking, he will have individually come up and thoroughly sniffed each and every one of you, just to familiarize himself with you, and B, because he helps when people get lost. So he's gonna come up and make sure he's got a good sniff of all of yous.
Okay.
Yeah, Vimes would have provided the fox with whatever berries he's harvested upon the way, but were out of fox reach.
And I not to assume for the other players here, but I'm assuming if Gareth is leading the way as like the wayfinder, and then it's like Roger in case anything untoward approaches us, and then it is Kish and Alvin as Alvin's helping Kish go, leaving Beaks in the end. Alvin will has learned a very valuable lesson from Kish over the years, and that lesson is when you can't be aggressive, be passive aggressive. And so he is going to actively not point out any spots that would roll your ankle, wet spots that you may sink into, and is just not. He's just omitting them, and so that hopefully Beaks' ineptitude takes on physical form. And he has a real rough walk.
Okay. Noted. So as you're going, it's been a few hours. Fox has been kind of, running, scouting ahead, coming back. And then at one point, he stops. And you can see that he kind of gets his hackles up and he's growling.
If Roger notices he's going directly for the spear because he doesn't know at what range something will be coming.
Yeah, Gareth will look around like, what's the are there bushes or anything that we can, like, because we're on a path, aren't we, kind of thing, or is this not a path now? We're just kind
it's
of
not really a path.
It's more just like a track kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what direction is Fox looking in?
Going for, from straight ahead, Fox is looking about 45 degrees to the left.
Okay.
And in that direction there's some woods, and if you are where you think you are, going through that a little bit, there's a stream.
Yeah, so Gareth will be like, could be danger, could be a squirrel. Fox doesn't like squirrels.
I think Kish would also start to look signs of the poisoning that we saw when we were tracking the last waypoint, and try to see if we can see any signs of it as if we're getting closer to the danger.
Okay. So are you just doing this from here, or are you investigating in the direction that Fox is pointing?
I'm gonna investigate in the direction Fox is pointing towards.
Okay. So yeah, as you start to make your way into the trees, you can see scattered beneath the trees there are an unfortunately large number of dead birds. There's not really the forest sounds that you would expect. And that's when the smell hits you. You know the
smell.
Yep. Brackish, metallic, you know this by now. You make your way to the stream, and the stream is running almost a dark gray.
I think we go that way, right?
Yep, we go upstream to find where it starts.
Yeah. The stream is running generally in the direction that you need to go.
Alvin sort of motions towards that.
Alvin and Kish, since you guys have studied the map the most, I'm going to get that tag back. I'm going to ask one of you to give me a roll to recognize something on the map.
Okay.
I think I can see a thing or two. And this would count as... Would this count as Twilight Encounter, since this is kind of like...
Yes.
And Ancient Lore.
Okay. And Old Ways Practitioner.
Yep.
Alvin, you can supply help here if you wish.
Yeah, I will just be the help.
Okay.
So Old Ways Apprentice.
All right. Then I will...
It's
Roll.
quick.
I'm just not rolling well today.
That's all right.
7 through 9's not bad.
So if this is spreading the way you think it is, it's not random. It's following the same old waterways that the Old Kingdom used to set up the way station network. But I will say that there is now a story tag that I don't have to do right now. That is Time Passes 1. Because it takes you some time to study the map and figure out where you are, and then figure out what's where this is coming from. So you've lost a little bit of time, not a lot. And as you...
I would like to take a second, if possible. The birds.
Mhm.
Not to get too graphic about dead birds, but are their wings splayed out like they fell from the sky, or are their wings tucked like they were on the ground and just keeled over?
They did not simply fall over. If you had to guess, you would say that they probably fell out of the tree.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then he'll continue after Kish.
Okay. That's kind of annoying. Late in the afternoon, you reach the quarries. The old quarries sprawl across a hillside, a scar on the landscape where stone was once cut for building. The workings go back generations, some shallow, some deep. Most are flooded now, pools of still water reflecting the gray sky. Scattered equipment rusts among the stones, broken carts, old iron tools, collapsed tracks. It's eerily quiet. No birds, no insects, just the sound of wind whistling through abandoned workings. Fox paces at the boundary, tail low, ears back. He does not want to enter.
Garth will kneel down and give him a comforting, scratch behind the ears while also just peering into this place, basically, to see if there's any movement or anything, just it seems quite quiet.
So there is absolutely something wrong here. No birds, no rabbits, no tracks. There should be trails. And animals, no. when there's something wrong.
Mr. Beeks, usually when we get into like here, like this part is when things get the most dangerous. So did you want to come in there, or did you want to stay out here in the silent forest all by yourself?
Well, if it's as dangerous as you all make it sound, then we should simply turn back, report this to the council, and let the council decide how to proceed.
Well, we need to figure out why it's dangerous. The first time was a big giant snake. The second time was weird water stuff and other
Yeah,
things.
what are you council gonna do? Rubber stamp it to death?
We need
So I
inform-
mean, what I mean is it's very dangerous. So we have to bring Roger in, obviously, if we're going to investigate there. But if you want to stay out here in the very silent forest with all the dead animals around, you can, but you'd just be by yourself. That's, or you can come inside.
Solve my job. I'm here to observe, so I will observe.
Alvin just kind of smiles, like a little too sinisterly.
Yep.
And he kind of looks around like he already wants to be inside this room.
Okay.
Kish is already walking. He didn't care.
As soon as he sees Kish, he immediately follows Kish.
Yep. Gareth, you can find a pretty decent trail through the worst of the quarry and down into the depths. And you are sure to mark your trail as you go so you can find your way back. And you lead the group. I'm assuming you lead the group forward.
We just follow. Fox marks the trail and find his way back.
Fox is very, very unhappy, but he knows to follow your lead, and he knows that sometimes, you make him go places where he doesn't want to go, but you haven't gotten him killed yet. So
If it gets too dangerous, it'll send him back out again. But for now,
and you get to a very distinct quarry pit. It seems that this one seems deeper than the others. The walls seem carved with a little bit more precision. And Kish, now that you look at this, you remember an old story. This quarry pit got the nickname of the problem pit. And just nothing ever, like, stone wouldn't break right, tools kept breaking, and it was finally abandoned.
I think Kish makes a slight joke. Well, we found the problem. And he points around to the whole quarry, as it was so well named from the old stories I can recall. I think we'll find out why today.
I Kish, but at least they didn't call it cursed. You know how superstitious miners can be.
I said miners, not miners.
I think Kish would, just to quickly test the theory, pick up a chunk of rock, throw it against one of the quarry walls to see how it reacts.
So you do that. Excuse me. It bounces off the wall, bounces off the wall with approximately the force and noise that you would expect. You do hear that it falls a bit of a ways, and then it splashes into water. And you look down, and you can actually see the surface of the water rippling from where the stone fell in. But it's very, very dark. You were assuming that the pit just went down further than you could see.
Oh no, it's just all poisoned water.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. I think I found our source.
Not
we head
worth a
down?
swim.
You want to head in? Okay.
How did you fix the other ones?
Oh, smattering of intelligence.
I wouldn't say fix with the last one is a good word. More figuring out what's causing the problem is the waypoint's crumbling. If we can figure out how to prevent it or repair it, probably be best. First, we gotta find where the waypoint is exactly here that's preventing this from spreading. See where its cracks are and repair it. Roger, you have better eyes than me. Do you see anything?
Can I?
So what precisely are you looking for?
Any sort of source of danger? Is my legally distinct non-arachnid based senses are they tingling? hey, we don't need trouble with those guys,
Right.
legally, all right?
Yeah, go ahead, make me a roll.
Okay. Well, I'll use martial training for it, and I think that's all I've really got. I don't think there's anything else I can use for that. I could argue feign courage, but
No. Gareth might be a better person to look around and see.
Yeah. But I'll give it a bash anyway.
Okay.
Because pride is at stake.
Woo!
Pride has been
Very nice.
has been I can't think of the word, but yeah.
The ego of
retained.
pride has been stroked.
Yeah.
So I mean you're getting that same brackish metallic smell from the water, so it's obviously the same contaminant.
I think the miners might have dug into our station.
But you do know that most of these old quarries did have some kind of drain tunnel that was specifically used to control water. And as you're looking around, you actually find what looks for all the world to be the drain tunnel.
Well, it seems to be the drainage tunnel. Let's go into it.
Okay.
The miners must have cut through it. Might explain the luck they were having. That water's neither good for man nor beast.
It's sure as hell not good for the earth.
Sure isn't. But it comes from there.
From what we know for now, it might not
Yeah. Well, if the earth had any sense, it would have rejected it.
Alvin is whistling nonchalantly as he is slowly edging towards the water.
The tunnel?
Quish grabs Alvin's cloak and pulls him towards the center.
He said we had to go there.
Yeah, but you stay on the track down there. You don't lean into the pool of water.
Oh. We went into the water last time.
And did you remind me? Did you almost drown last time?
No, I almost drowned the first time. And in my defense, I didn't almost drown because of the water. I almost drowned because of the giant snake that coiled around me and tried to drown me.
I was referring to you passing out and then laying face first down the stairs.
Oh, I was fine.
Gareth leans forward. There was a giant snake in this water.
At the lake.
The water was like this. And he turns his nose up at the disgusting.
Oh no, the lake water was just kind of like murky lake water.
Oh,
This
the
is
water-
this is more evil water.
yes, I can see that.
Alvin writes down evil water.
Let's go.
So who's going first?
Alvin.
No. Kish is in front of Alvin.
Alvin tries.
Right.
Is Beak still at the rear?
Yes, but
I
he's
think Kish would say, stay at the rear so you can run away if need be.
I think Gareth is actually going to pull into the rear now if Kish is taking the lead.
okay.
Yeah, I'll be final girling my way in the middle because, it's either the guy at the rear or the front that gets taken out
Yep.
first. Everybody knows that.
Okay. So, Kish, the mouth of the drain tunnel is only barely wide enough for a person. You quickly get in to this tunnel. It is cramped. It is wet. It is cold. I'm assuming you have some sort of torch or something to light your way. You are every once in a while, there's a jut in the stone that you weren't quite expecting, and either your staff scrapes against it or you kind of stumble a little bit. Alvin, you are doing everything you can in this very damp environment to keep the watch log safe. You have it back in the waterproof wrapping that you first found it in. Roger, every once in a while you don't think about it and you stand up a bit too tall and like your sword catches on the pommel of your sword catches on the ceiling. Beaks is, I mean, he's complaining, but he's not. He seems to have accepted that he's in it now. And so, Kish, I would like you to make me a roll to see how well you get through the tunnel.
Okay, so tough cookie. I would argue I will have the negative of old bones.
Go for it. Yep, love it.
And I'm being extremely cautious at this point.
Okay.
Hence why I'm taking the lead. So that way, if there's like a sudden drop, the old man takes the damage. And
Position heal thyself.
yeah.
I would even accept seeing a thing or two.
Yeah, see, I was thinking about that one too.
Can I give an assist to him as well? I would be behind him and the way you help an old lady across the street.
Yeah.
You're gonna grab my ankles last minute as I fall.
Yeah. No, I think
yes.
I have like one arm like around your bicep, so if you fall, I can sort of hold you up.
Or get pulled down with you.
Or either one.
Well, that'll
So-
that'll
Oh,
depend
no,
on
I
how we
fell
roll. So yes, give
too.
yourself a
Oh,
plus
no.
one.
Oh no.
Quick roll. Whoa, whoa.
Whew. Okay.
It's better than bad.
Yep. So you make it through the tunnels, but there were a few cases where even with Elvin's eyes and attempted guidance, you found a couple of ankle breakers in there, so I am giving you the stats of injured 2. And then everyone else is getting injured 1.
I like to imagine as Kisha's like, watch out, there's a bad spot here as soon as he steps into another one.
Yep. Okay. So you do make it through. As you progress, the tunnel changes. You can see that the natural stone has started to give way to worked stone. You can see that Gareth, you notice that the drainage channels are becoming a bit too precise, a bit too regular. Everyone notices that the air is growing colder, a bit more stale, a bit more of that same brackish smell. And Kish, you notice some marks on the wall that could be Mason's marks or they could be warts.
I think because part of this exploration is to figure out how they're preventing it, I'm going to take a minute to try to figure if they are wards, what they were for. So that would be Old Ways Per Dictionary, Ancient Lore, and my wards and protection.
Yep.
And I would also argue seeing a thing or two.
Okay, yep. Nice. Yes, they are wards. And they are still functioning. Not strongly, but they are, in fact, still functioning. And it's as you kind of open your senses up to examine the wards, you can feel the same kind of almost magical pressure that you felt kind of like in Hollowcroft, but it's not quite the same. That felt almost collapsed. This still feels like there's a lot of tension, like a rope that's pulled too tight.
I think Kish would immediately tell Alvin, get rubbings of this quickly.
He does.
You do.
I look back at our companion follower at the moment and say, if I'm right about this may be the words they were using to reduce this Misa from leaking out. And I can sense that it's weakening. Now, we can progress further and see if there are more of these. Or I can try to strengthen this one as we go along. But I will advise that this is a risk.
Which one is the risk?
Right now, enforcing empowering the wards, so we don't fully know it, is a risk.
Well, then, let's not do that.
But it is also the only thing that is slowing down the spread. I will advise that we should probably continue forward, but if we need to run out of here, I will not be running with you. I will be enriching the magics in this ward.
Kish,
Fair enough.
the kid won't let you stay alone. I won't either. Should we may we well do it now?
I think Kish says this. I am the oldest one here. It won't be too much of a loss. Don't risk yourselves for me. And Kish continues on.
Trevor.
Yeah.
While I'm doing the rubbings, while Alvin's doing the rubbings, do I recognize any of the symbology here? Like I don't know exactly how much Kish knows about Alvin, or how much Alvin has fully told him. But like as much as Alvin is Kish's apprentice, Alvin is innately
Magical.
touched by magic.
Yep.
Yeah. So like while he is the oldest and most educated, it may actually be Alvin who's the most able to do this. Do I recognize any of these things?
Not intellectually,
Okay.
but it's actually kind of difficult for you to get the rubbings because that small part of you that is still touched from when you drank the water is almost being physically repulsed by these wards. It's not very strong because the wards are not very strong. But yeah, this is it. Whatever still may be in your system is reacting to this.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking that like my blood is magical as well.
Well,
it's like if I'm doing the rubbings and I understand what Kish is saying and I'm listening, but also I'm listening at the level of that Alvin listens to. And if I think I can like re-imbue these runes, Alvin might try.
Okay. Well, make me a roll.
Okay. I would say, and stop me at any time.
Okay.
Master's Secrets. I've read books that Kish has that maybe I wasn't supposed to yet. Old Ways Apprentice. I am learning the old ways. And then I would say for like magical shit, Witchblood. Possibly Touched by Twilight.
Okay.
Which is a new one. And then I would say maybe Rudimentary Magic, and possibly Beginner's Wand if you think that would help.
Well, so if you're trying to do this surreptitiously, that will not work if you use the wand.
Ooh, good call. Yeah, I don't think he's trying to like, with the wand. I think he's just trying to like, while he's touching these, see if he can reactivate them.
So I'm going to bounce Master's Secrets because what you're trying to react to is not intellectual so much as instinctual.
Got it.
And I will add freak occurrences.
Okay, that makes sense.
And well, yeah, no, because you're still trying to be surreptitious about it. And I'll even take curious.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 -1. Okay, and the quick. Okay.
Nice.
A 10. A 10's a full success.
Yep. So yeah, you as the bit of the stain that is still in you is reviling from these runes, you suddenly feel like your blood is singing. It doesn't sound like it, but it feels like it, as strange as that sounds. And you... So what happens is, as you're taking the rubbing, at one point you go to adjust the paper and your hand actually brushes against the rune. And you see, like, from your fingertips, the rune glows just a little brighter, and then it kind of, the energy kind of spiders away into the wall. It is absolutely possible to reinforce these runes, but it would take a lot of work, a lot of energy, and probably a lot of time.
Do I have a sense for how long?
If it were just you and Kish, it would probably take most of a day. And that's assuming that, granted, you've only found a couple of runes. You're assuming that there are more elsewhere in here. But, because just having one reinforced is not going to help a whole lot, because it's, but it would be better than nothing. But even that would be a couple of hours. You think. You also don't know what the capacity of these things are.
Yeah.
So there's not like a battery meter.
I think it spiders across, and Alvin, like, completely not meaning it truthfully, goes, "Oops."
What'd you do?
I think I started reinforcing the runes.
He touched something. The kid has a habit of this.
He told me to take rubbings. I was doing what I was told. And then I think I accidentally started reinforcing. I can keep going. They're very reinforceable. It's just going to take a while.
I think it's first better to look the ones more further in and repair those if possible.
There might be a big one. You fix up the big one.
Okay, well, I mean, at least I know how to do it now.
And as you continue on...
I did it accidentally.
Yeah, totally. As you continue on, you emerge into a domed chamber, perhaps 20 feet across. The walls are Old Kingdom stonework, the same precision you saw at Hollowcroft. But here, the stones still fit perfectly. No gaps, no collapse. Water drips from above, collecting in channels that lead to a central drain. And there, set into the far wall, is a door. Not collapsed, not buried, an actual door. Heavy, metal-bound, covered in Old Kingdom script. And beside it, barely visible in the flickering of your torchlight, is a circular mechanism. A lock.
I think Kish quickly says, take notes of how the structure is built. I say that to everyone.
Okay.
And I believe Kish will first go to take a look at the lock.
Okay.
I haven't done homework in 35 years, and I left my copybook at home.
Then take mental notes.
I
know that's difficult, but...
I already have. You haven't read one of my reports. They're very good. I mean, my chief, he's an intelligent man. It's why he lets me do what I want to do.
Laura, what is Gareth doing?
Gareth will first pace the chamber, just to pace it out, distance-wise, basically. And then I think he'll probably also just run his hands, as he's circling the room as well, he'll probably just be running his hands along the walls. Just looking to see if there's any other kind of entrance. Yes, the door's quite obvious, but sometimes there are unobvious things. So he's just kind of looking around. He's more interested and curious than anything else, really, because this is something new. as well, so he's kind of like pacing the room, counting it out, and then running his hands along the walls and stuff.
So as you're pacing out the room, and you're examining, you're at the drain in the floor, and you realize that the water, there is some water pooled around the drain, and you realize that not quickly, but the water's coming up. Somehow, for some reason, from some source, this chamber is flooding from below.
He stops, and he probably watches it for like a minute or two just to make sure it actually is rising. Nothing, we just pick a point and look to see if it slowly gets filled up.
Yep.
And then once he's realizing that it is actually filling up, like he'll just say to the room, "Water's rising."
Yeah, happened before. Should have warned you.
Fox, by the way, has sequestered himself like inside your shirt. And when you reach down to examine the water, he actually scurries around to the back.
Don't like that, eh, boy? Yeah, me neither.
Yep.
Fox doesn't like it here. I don't like it here.
I think Kish is going to quickly divert his attention to the center of the room then and try to do that purification process he did
Okay.
back in the town.
All right. Make me a roll.
I think I'm going to believe it was apothecary, medicine bag for the herbs and stuff.
Mhm.
Always practitioner, ancient lore. I believe Twilight Encounters does count because magical in nature. Seen a thing or two because I've done this before.
Yep.
And I'm going to be cautious about it because I don't want to, cause it to get worse.
Okay. You are
Yeah.
injured, which is hampering your ability to concentrate.
Think also herbal ingredients and the knowledge hard-earned one from doing this last time.
Okay. Wow.
Well,
Jesus. Dude. That was an atrocious roll.
it's a
My
good thing.
God,
It's a good thing I argued
Right?
all those tags.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Um.
That's so bad.
Yeah,
What
but I
number
like
rolls
the
have
fact
come
that
in?
that's the point, though. That like
Yeah.
the dice can't, like, unless it's a natural one. If you're good at something, the dice have less chance of actually fucking you up. Sorry.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you purify some of the water. And from that, the kind of the rate at which your purification kind of fades and dilutes tells you that this the bottom of the water is not like right below the drain here. There's probably at least 1 or 2 levels below that are already flooded. I am, however, going to give you.
So Kish reveals this to the others, that there's at least 1 or 2 chambers below that have already flooded.
Well,
If we don't take action soon, it's probably going to overwhelm the stream and spread faster.
Well, as long as those chambers aren't filled with books and gear we could have used. Well, we'll never know.
I mean, Kish and I, Master Kish and I can start fortifying the runes here, and you can press on.
Garth looks around and goes, "Where?"
There's
Through
the
the
door.
door.
That's it.
Well, I don't know. Swim.
I suggest picking the lock. Don't break it in. Who knows what trap is set up?
Yeah, but it might have one of those traps that recognize a key.
So, Alvin, it takes you a second, but you recognize the locking mechanism from the watch log.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Alvin does. Oh, wait, hold on. Flips to the page. It's not a key. It's a sequence. It's basically a
Well, I think I can open it based on the notes in the log.
Yeah, actually, the log does. Believe it or not, it contains the access codes for maintenance personnel.
Yeah, I think he kind of like, moves over towards the door, wading through whatever amount of water is there, and he says, "Actually, Roger, hold on," and he starts like moving the mechanisms in order, to unlock the door. Click.
At this point, Beaks stops and says, "Wait." I don't know what this place is, but that door is sealed for a reason. We should leave it sealed. Get back to Ravenholm. Bring experts. Looks to Roger from the
What
marshal's
expert?
court, or maybe even the church.
Experts in what? This is Forgotten Kingdom. This is
We are-
forgotten knowledge. I am the closest thing we have to having knowledge on that.
We've been in 2 of these. We are the experts, Mr. Alderman.
Trevor, in my experience with opening locks, that conversation took longer than I assume it would take to put in the sequence. And Beaks is not my boss, so when he said wait, I didn't.
Okay.
This is what
So
Kish,
I continue unlocking that door.
Okay.
I think Kish would also like to continue arguing. Right now, you're the only member of the council here who can make a decision. You can run like a coward, like we told you before we even came down here, and go report this. Or you can take action now, because the rate this is flooding is only a matter of maybe 1 to 2 days that completely overruns that stream. We need to take action now, way before it's too late. Now's the time to do, not the time to question, to argue, to go through the paperwork and bureaucracy of the council. We have to move quickly, or we can't move at all.
So as you are saying this, and you can see that you are actually getting through to him. He doesn't he doesn't particularly appreciate the paperwork crack, but there's only so wrong it is. Alvin, you are trying desperately to be, very, very careful with this. It's difficult for you. So the first symbol that you press is the tower. When you press it, you can hear and kind of feel through the pad a click. There's a faint hum that starts to grow louder. And the door starts to glow. And Kish, you can feel the wards and the magic shift in this place, responding to what Alvin is doing. Whether it is for or against, you're not quite sure. The second symbol, the sentinel. Another click. Louder hum. The wards feel strained, but of something pushing out, not in. The third symbol, the seal. You don't even hear the click now over how loud the humming is getting, but you can still feel the little bit of pressure through the key. The door is now glowing brightly enough that the torch is useless. Beaks is just standing there completely gobsmacked. He doesn't even look at you, Kish. He's just looking in complete shock at the door. The fourth and final symbol, the key. The mechanism grinds. Metal on metal, ancient, but still functional. The door shudders, then begins to swing inward, revealing darkness beyond. Air rushes out, cold, stale, and carrying that brackish smell intensified 100-fold. And from within, distantly, you hear it. A rhythmic sound. Is it breathing? Machinery? The slow pulse of something vast and old. Not quite awake. Not quite asleep. Gareth. Fox is curled into as small of a ball as he can against your back, and you hear something you have not heard from him in a very, very long time. Even from under your clothes, even curled up into a ball, he howls. Once, it's long, and it's mournful.
I don't think what's in there's any good.
Then it has to be stopped.
Or we just lock it back up again.
Thank you, says Beak. Someone who understands what I've been saying this whole time.
A coward dies 1,000 deaths.
Is the mechanism unlocked?
Yes, the door is open.
Okay. So I think all right. So I think as the door opens, my heart says that Kish is too far away to stop me. Alvin sort of starts to take a step forward towards the door and says, "The log said it's for maintenance," as he's walking into the door.
I think Kish runs quickly. As quickly as his bones and injuries will allow.
And Alvin's trying to walk through the threshold.
Okay. Beaks.
Gareth growls. He's going to fish Fox out from where he's buried, and he's going to put him on the ground, and he's just going to say, "Go on then, son," as he nods his head towards the exit, and Fox probably just legs it. Yep. He's like, "You don't tell me twice." The Fox is gone. Whoosh.
Yep, Fox is gone.
And then Gareth starts stringing his bow.
I'm sorry, Gareth starts what?
Stringing his bow. Okay. You know, because at first he was just carrying his stick, and you don't carry a strong bow all the time. But now, yeah, the stick has been laid down, and Gareth is now stringing his bow, and he's going, "Still don't like it."
Once we cross that threshold, there's no pretending we didn't know. No claiming ignorance. Whatever we find in there, whatever happens, we chose this. I'm scared, I'll admit it, but...
It chose us.
sitting in Ravenholm waiting for this to get worse isn't protecting anyone. He looks at Kish and kind of gives kind of that wincing, grimacing grin, says, "It's just waiting to die, like you said."
Smartest thing you've said in 2 weeks.
Then straightens up.
I think Kish will say something real quick.
Hmm.
Stay in the back. This gets messy. At least one person needs to give a message back.
Yep.
Understood.
Council don't speak fox.
Let's find out what the Old Kingdom was so desperate to contain. And that is where we're going to end episode 3, The Silent Station.
Hell yeah. Episode 3, definitely not any kind of, just a one shot. Episode
Right.
3 of the one shot.
It's West
let's-
Marches. It works that way.
Yeah. Let's go around, do our outros, and then we're going to get out of here and we're going to do our after show. If you guys want access to the after show for this show and all of our other shows for the past few years, check us out over on Patreon, link in the description down below. But for now, we will start with the newest member to this one shot. Laura, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet and what are you up to?
Hello, indeed. I am Laura. You can find me on Laura Bones in most places on the internet. I have started streaming back up again now on my own channel. But yeah, you can find me here for the Patreon one shots. You can also find me tonight in about 4 hours, 3 hours over on the Dead Aussie Gamer channel every week as we play through our Pathfinder 2-week campaign. Yeah, that's it. It's me.
Oh yeah. Let's jump right across the screen. Profo, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I'm El Profo. You can only find me here. Until about March, exciting things are afoot. Exciting things. But I should say no more until close to the time. And writing, I'm getting back to writing my own campaign setting for... It's not Tales from the Loop. It's not Things from the Flood. It's Things from the Damp. Because it's in Britain. And yeah, I'm back to writing adventures for those. So I'm hoping to select a few and, make them available at some point. It's for charity.
Of course. And jumping over to the man I torture every one of these sessions by making him be my parent is Will. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I'm Will, also the Red Oak Shield Virus. You can find me occasionally in the Discord and on these Patreon one-shots.
Yeah. And last but not least, our wonderful GM or Master of Ceremonies or Storyteller, whatever they're calling it in this system. Trevor, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Thank you, Mike. I am Trevor the Vitruvian Meeple. You can find me here for the Patreon one-shots. You can find me on my own YouTube channel at Vitruvian Meeple, where we are actually getting back into the habit of actually streaming the main storyline of Echoes of the Undying. We're doing Cypher System in a fantasy setting that is, in general, every other Monday evening, Eastern Time. But check out the playlist. We'll do after shows there. I'm technically on the Discord, but my attention is being pulled in so many directions recently that I'm having trouble keeping up with it. So if you want something from me on Discord, send me a DM, and I'll probably see that faster. But yeah, they're in here.
My advice for Discord being overwhelming is to delete all other Discord channels except for unMadeGaming.
Right.
That being said, again, if you guys like what we do and you want to support the channel, join us over on Patreon, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. But that's it for us. We will see you guys next time, but stick around. There's another one shot coming in about 30 or so minutes. We're going to get out of here, do our after show. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Doodles.